We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. You are connected to from wherever you are connecting. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, the light techniques for transformation. This is the second sutra. It says that between the two centers, the rays of light are coming. Feel this as lightning. Between one center and another, feel the light coming as rays of light coming as lightning. The first sutra was consider your essence as light rays from center to center along the vertebrae, and thus feel the livingness in you. There is a slight difference in the first technique and the second one. First, consider your essence as light moving from center to center along the vertebrae. It may be difficult for some people. So, this is the second technique. Or in the spaces between, feel this as lightning. Now, in the first sutra, I talked about light moving from center to center up the vertebrae. The difference in this here is you are in darkness. There is clouds in the sky floating. There is thunder. Suddenly there is a lightning. A light flashes between the two clouds. The very nature of the lightning is when the two clouds, they strike with one another through the friction. Lightning arises. Lightning happens. So when you are moving from one center to another, if you cannot envision the entire process, then feel the rays as lightning. This is similar to the first technique with a slight difference. If you cannot feel yourself as the light essence moving from center to center up the vertebrae and thus feel the livingness in you, then spaces between two centers, feel this as lightning. The rays of light you are asked to feel as if there is lightning. Between one center and another, the rays are coming. You can feel it like lightning, a jump of light as the clouds are floating in the sky. Suddenly two clouds strike with one another. There is friction, and with that friction there is lightning. For some people, the first technique may be difficult, so this second technique, feel the rays of light as lightning between one center and another. It is symbolically said between one center and another. The first center and the second center, because these go in a chronological order. For some people, the second will be more suitable, while for others, the first. It all depends upon how do you feel? If you feel the first is suitable, then go ahead and do it. So these sutras are for different set of people with different levels of understanding, different levels of cognition. So for some, it is easy to feel the essence, your essence as light rays moving from center to center up the vertebrae. For the second, for some it may be difficult, so feel the rays of light like lightning between one center and the other. There are people who cannot imagine things gradually, and there are people who cannot imagine things when they jump. If you can think and imagine gradually, as the first sutra says, feel that you are essence of light, you are light rays, essence of light rays moving up from center to center up the vertebrae. So it is a slow movement. When there is a lightning, you are in dark, all of a sudden there is a lightning, something flashes and you can find your way. But if you try the first method and you suddenly feel that from one center the light rays jump directly to the center, then the first method is not suitable for you. The second will be better for you. Feel this as lightning. You are outside on the road. There is pitch dark. Suddenly there is lightning and you get a vision up to a certain distance. Like a spark of light jumping from one center to the next. And the second is more prominent and clear to you. The second sutra is more real to you. Really light jumps. From one candle, when an unlit candle is brought in close proximity of the lit candle, the process does not happen as a slow process. Instead, there happens a quantum leap. The more closer the unlit candle comes to the lit candle, all of a sudden, in a flash, all you know that the unlit candle is lit. So light jumps like a quantum leap. So there is no gradual step-by-step growth. Light is a jump. Look at the electric light. You think it is constant? That is an illusion. There are gaps, but the gaps are so small that you cannot detect the gaps. Electricity comes in jumps or quantum leap. One jump and then there is a gap of darkness. Another jump, then there is another gap of darkness. But you never feel the gap because the jump is so consistently fast. Otherwise, every moment there is darkness. Again there is a jump. Light comes and then again a darkness. Light jumps. It never travels. Light never travels. It jumps from one center to another. For those who can conceive of jumps, the second method is suitable. So it all depends upon your inner mechanism. If the feeling the light rays as jumping like from a lit candle to the unlit, then second method is suitable for you. Just try. If it feels good with the rays coming gradually, it is okay. If you don't feel rays going gradually from one center to another, then that technique is suitable for you. If you do not feel good and you are not in harmony with that sutra, then consider that, feel that the light is jumping in quantum leaps from one center to another. Then forget about everything else, about the rays of light. Think of this as lightning in the sky, in the clouds, just jumping from one place to another. For women, the first technique will be easier than for the men. For men, the second technique will be more suitable. The feminine mind can conceive of feels gradualness more naturally and easily. Male always likes the jumps, and it is natural for male mind. The male mind is frogly, jumping. It jumps from one thing to another. There is a subtle uneasiness in male mind. The female mind has a gradual process. It is not jumpy. That is why female and male logic differs from one another. I give you an example. Whole week man works, busy with the job, this and that and so. And Sunday, when a day is off, he is still busy. He has to go to see the soccer match, cricket match or something else, or visit. So man talks about what is happening in Ukraine and Russia, what is happening in France, what is happening on the moon here and there. Women is interested only in close things. Why do you have to bother about all these things? Just think. Think of removing the cobweb from the rooms. The bulb in that restroom is blown, you change it. Polish the shoes of the children, do the laundry. So she is interested only in nearness things. So male mind jumps from Ukraine to France, France to something else. But the female mind is a gradual process, it is not jumpy. That's why the male and female logic differs. Women thinks in terms of nearness, man thinks in terms of far. So this reflects in their logic as well. The man goes on jumping from one thing to another, and for women this is not conceivable. For man there must be a growth. For them there must be a gradual growth, but choose. Try these methods and choose whichever one you feel comfortable with and you feel good is for you. So this is why it is said, in the beginning I have said that you have to experiment with these sutras. When a sutra is explained to you for the first time, and I do it in much more details, again and again I keep on repeating the sutra. One thing more I have to do as I get a chance, I will put these sutras in a form that it can be easily available to you. So experiment with it for 3 days or 1 week. If you find harmony with it, if you start flowing with it, then continue. Continue from 3 weeks to 3 months. For a process to work in you, it takes 3 weeks to 3 months time. Just as when you take a course of antibiotic, it is 7 days, 3 times for the day. So it comes out to 21. 21 doses you have to take. But here these techniques you are practicing 1 per day. So that's why it is 21 days. So it is very scientific. The process reverses within 21 days. 21 to 3 months. 2 or 3 things more about this method. When with lightening, you may feel some kind of hotness that it may seem unbearable at times. When suddenly the energy springs forth in you at a high speed, at a high velocity, intensity, you feel it is unbearable. That's why when you go to certain shrines, it becomes very unbearable to stay there. And it is said, masters have always told, when you are visiting a shrine, do not go alone. Carry with you your master. So what will happen if the strong rays of the energy begins to move like a storm? You will not be able to accept it. You will not be able to absorb it within you, and that can make you insane. It is about the Naqshbandi Sheikh Maulana Abdul Ghani, who was the Sheikh of Brij Mohan Lal, my grandfather, an uncle, master. He went for Hajj. He have heard there was a mazoob. Mazoob means who are infatuated in love for Allah, and they are not of any use to general public. It's not like you go and they will talk to you and they will talk to you and something like that. They do not use any of that system. It's just you go and they pour everything into you. It's like you are pouring something from a container to a bottle. The outlet of the container is big, but the bottle have a small opening. So you have to do it properly. You use a funnel, and using the funnel, you start pouring, and that too you have to be cautious that you do not, the capacity of the funnel is limited. So whatever you pour, it goes inside. But if you do not use the funnel, and you are emptying the oil from a can of 4 liters or 2 liters into a dispensable bottle, kitchen dispenser bottle with a nozzle, but the mouth, the opening is very small. What will happen? It will spill outside. It will spill outside and make it will go waste, and it will make the bottle dirty, the oily outside, that you have to clean it and all that process. So this is the state of a mazoob. So when Abdul Ghani heard about it, he went there. He was staying in a certain place, no place of his own, and as soon as it was said about him that if you put a piece of a stone in front of him, and as the rays of light fall, his tawajjuh falls, it will shatter. So when he did the same thing, start pouring his tawajjuh onto Abdul Ghani, and he immediately went into the thought of his master, his whole chain. He is absorbed in his master is in his master, and like that. Within a few seconds, he got into senses. He says, he blessed him. He said, I have not seen such a state when whatsoever I am pouring is being absorbed. So it happens that when the lightning suddenly happens, you feel, number one, heat, and sometimes you feel this is unbearable. You use the heat pad for massage. So you have to increase your bearing capacity slowly and slowly. Or if you are using a massager which is a vibrator, you cannot increase its high speed. So you go step by step. If you feel that, do not try this method. Lightning can give you much heat. If I'm not talking about the lightning that you see during the rainy season, that is an example way to explain that. But the lightning here is of a different nature. It is like the energy moving from one center to another. It happens on its own, and also it happens when you are in the company of the master. When you are going for initiation, the master initiates a certain amount of energy, flows towards you, you feel nauseated. Sometimes you get unconscious. That unconsciousness means you are not able to absorb the high dose of that. So you have to slowly and slowly. That is why when intravenous injection is given, it cannot be given at a high flow. So the flow has to be drop by drop, so that as it goes in the body, it absorbs. When it goes through the veins, it can spread in the entire system and balance it off. So lightning can give you much heat. If you feel this, that it is unbearable, then do not try this method. Then try the first one. If you are at ease, then it is good. Otherwise, with uneasiness, do not try it. Or if at the moment, if you feel that this is happening, you can mention it to the sheikh, to the master, that this is what happening. So he may do something, he may allow you to do in front of him, or he may change something else depending on the situation. So sometimes the explosion can be so strong. So whenever this happens, just rest and do not do anything. If you fall asleep, it is good. If not, then it will absorb into your system slowly and slowly. At times when someone tells me this, that I'm feeling like this, so I have to tell the person to use this particular meditation, which while you are listening to this, the light of the being, it is available on YouTube, Light of the Being by taoshobuddha. So when you are just listening to it with your eyes closed, slowly and slowly a calmness descends on you to neutralize the effect, the, the explosive effect of the energy that has flown into you, that has entered into you on your own or through a process that you have done it, like this technique. So one has to be aware always not to become afraid of anything. So sometimes when people mention, and it is like out of fear, do not know what is happening, what had happened. So at that time, it becomes important for me to respond. So we are much in a better position than our ancestors. We have the phone system or any other system through which the message can come through WhatsApp or Messenger, and you can respond. And even if the need be arises, you can use the video conferencing, video call as well. That was not possible in the ancient times. So one has to be aware, always not to become afraid of anything. If you feel that fear will come and it is too much for you, then do not try. Then the first method, with light rays moving from one center to center up the vertebrae, and in that feel the livingness in you. So then that method is suitable for you. If you feel that even with rays, light rays, too much hotness is coming to you, then it depends, because people differ. Then conceive of rays as cool. Imagine them as cool. The rays of light are cool. I recall when the sessions used to take place. So it happens that the master, earlier times there was no air conditioner or central heating system. So when in 1969 Sufi Omkarnath started talking about the biography, the life history of the sheikhs of the Naqshbandi order, the session will start around 9 o'clock. The room was outside. It has 2 doors facing outside and windows. So the number of people was so much that we cannot keep the door closed, because each time when somebody comes in, there will be disturbance, and a cold breeze is blowing, cold breeze. We are all wrapped up in the blankets. There is no carpet or anything, just an ordinary thin mattress on the floor, sitting on that floor. The session begins and we start feeling the warmth in it. So it happens that the master gives tawajjuh from the plane of moon or from sun. So through that, the energy comes, the heat or the coolness comes. So in the same way, when during the spring season, the spiritual function takes place at the shrine of Raghuvar Dayal Chachaji, his shrine was outskirts of the city, 7 miles outskirts the city. So it was an open place from all around. Now the buildings have come up along the nearby, but the shrine was open from all the sides, no kind of closeness. When you are sitting there, cold breeze is coming to you, like going through your bones. But when you sit down in meditation, hardly few minutes past, you start feeling warmth in you. So this is where the energy, the rays, the tawajjo is like, you can say, energy, or light is also energy. And energy, these are the two synonyms or forms of the tawajjo, in the form of light rays or energy. Energy you cannot see, you can simply feel, but rays of light you can see. So that's the difference comes in. So if you consider that the rays of light are still warm, then feel the rays as cool. Imagine them cool. Then instead of feeling warmth, you will start feeling coldness with everything. That too can be effective, as I said, during the winter. To keep the place warm, the place, tawajjo is flowing as if the rays, there is a heat, waves are coming towards you. So you can decide, try and decide, remember with this technique and with the others also, if you feel very uneasy and everything seems unbearable, do not do it. Then there are other methods which can be suitable for you. And this one may not be for you. There is no need to create unnecessary disturbance inside you that will create more problems than to solve the situation. Yoga gives a method that is known as Sahaj Yoga. Sahaj means spontaneous and natural. Spontaneous, easy and natural. Always remember Sahaj. Sahaj means something that is spontaneous, natural and comfortable for you. If you feel any technique spontaneously coming to you, if you feel more affinity with it, if you feel better with it, more healthy, more alive, more at home, then that method is suitable for you. Move with it, you can trust it, do not create unnecessary problems, and the inner mechanism is, remember, inner mechanism is always very complex. If you do something which is too much for you, you will destroy many things, the spontaneity and the natural way of happening. So it is better to move with something which feels spontaneous, natural and easy for you. So the techniques that uses the light rays for transformation, the two have been explained. The first one, feel yourself as the essence of light rays moving from center to center up the vertebrae and feel liveness entering you. The second sutra, feel the rays as lightening between one center and another. And the third comes in, which is the last of the three, is feel the cosmos as translucent, ever living presence. feel the cosmos as translucent, ever-living presence. This is also concerned with light. The cosmos as translucent, ever-living presence. This sutra, I'll take it in tomorrow's session. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.